7:11 and 7 degrees on this cool start to your Sunday morning. Just got a text message here saying, Kalimera, Joanne, from Ross and Adriano, the goalie. And the message says he has an early hockey game this morning. Love your show. Adriano, go, Adriano, go. Hopefully he kicks some butt on this one. Can I say butt on the air? I just did. Oops. Chris Abel is our tech expert and joins us every Sunday here on Weekends with Joanne Brackus. And we've got a lot to talk about, including some news from Ferrari. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning, and go Adriana. That was awesome. Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Wow. I mean, I get to talk about Ferrari.
Listen,
so,
I've been in a Ferrari one time in my life, and I have to say the feeling is I'm not a car person, but the sound, the feeling, it's something that you have to sort of feel to believe. But I'm looking over these notes here, and Ferrari is going EV. What exactly is going on here?
Yes. And so, I mean, fans might be a bit confused because in the past, Ferrari said this is something that they weren't going to do. And to explain, it's kind of both are true. So next year, in 2026, Ferrari will come out with their first electric vehicle. It's going to be called the Electtrica. And although it's technically a Ferrari, this is going to be a sort of brand new product category for Ferrari.
Okay.
They're going to do an electric vehicle, so they're not going to treat it like a regular Ferrari. They're going to treat it as an entirely new animal. So what's exciting about this is that, yes, it's going to be an electric Ferrari. It's got 4 doors, 4 seats, so this is kind of like a sports car with just 2 seats, but also 4 motors. So the actual 2 rear wheels are going to be steerable. There are going to be times that when you're going through a very quick, fast turn, you can actually turn the rear wheels into the turn as well. Lots of exciting stuff there. But the big news is, and Ferrari, when they made this announcement, they have no images of what the car looks like. They've been talking about the drivetrain and all the internals. But the big news is that the external parts of the Ferrari car are not going to be made by Ferrari. Instead, they have tapped famous industrial designer Johnny Ive, who's the man who designed all the early iPod and Apple products, including the iPhone and the iPad. I mean, Johnny Ive is just, if you know his work, he's a man who's much worshipped. So the idea that Ferrari is willing to step aside and allow Johnny Ive to come in. Ive is not really a big Italian name,
No.
To come in and sort of come up with a design for their new car, this electric vehicle, that's exciting.
But what do we know? Because I guess it is Ferrari, but it doesn't, what you've described doesn't really sound Ferrari. But as you said, it's a separate product. Is it going to sound the same? Do we have any news on that?
We do. So they have promised that it's going to be fast, of course, but also it's going to have incredible sound. Not just in terms of, when you're in the car listening to music and stuff. Yeah, of course, it's going to have fantastic sound that way. But electric vehicles, one of the problems are that they tend to be very silent. And that kind of takes away from the driving experience. And so they have developed an entire system in order to produce vibrations or to take the vibrations internal in the car and then to convert that into sound.
Wow.
So you can now amplify and can be heard when the car is driving around. What that's going to sound like? Well, we have to wait till spring of next year to see what it looks like, what it sounds like.
Yeah, well,
what Johnny Ive is planning.
Vroom, 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 all the way there. Okay, Amazon, this is huge right now because, love Jeff Bezos or not, this could actually be very, very useful. So Amazon is launching pharmacy kiosks in the U.S. So what is it in the delivery process? Is it prescriptions? What do we know?
Right. So they are currently in the west coast of Los Angeles installing these kiosks in doctors' offices. So the idea is that you've seen your doctor, you get a prescription at the end, and then when you leave, you can actually just get your medication on the way out as you're leaving the doctor's office. You go over to the kiosk machine, you hand it your prescription, there's a barcode on there that gets scanned, and then the machine processes your details and gives you a little baggie of medication you can take home.
I thought you were basically would just take the prescription and deliver it to the pharmacist, and then that would be delivered to your home. This is like a vending machine, but for medicine, basically.
Correct. Which is sort of the thing that nobody thought would ever happen, but it's finally reached that point. And there's a lot of questions there
Yeah.
that Amazon hasn't answered in terms of security. Clearly, this is the kind of thing that gets targeted a lot. What they will be doing is that the machines aren't going to have any kind of medication. Right now, it's only going to be the most common kinds of medication, antibiotics, inhalers, blood pressure medication, that kind of stuff. And the real idea is that not just for convenience, but they say that far too often prescriptions don't get filled. So you leave the office, you get home, and you just never get around to it.
Yeah, I do see the conflict, though, because, the pharmaceutical companies will all be vying to get into those machines. But I guess that's a bigger discussion. Chris, we're running out of time, but I do want to talk about this. The new movie Tron has upset Tesla. Why?
Well, Tesla drivers. So they found that there was a software update that you can download that claimed that it can turn your Tesla car into the vehicles from the new Tron movie. And when you downloaded this, not only does it put a little animation on the screen in your car for the new Tron Ares movie, but it also updates the animations on all of your car vehicles so you get a little avatar. But it changes the lighting in the car. Suddenly you're driving around in red lighting. Everything's very ominous, very, very, very dark. Your car is completely taken over in a Tron theme. And so for a lot of drivers, they suddenly realized this is kind of an ad. I'm not sure I want advertising to reach that kind of power in my vehicle that it sort of dominates the atmosphere, that when I'm driving around, it's all, advertising. Even if it's a cool thing like Tron, still, maybe this is a line that we shouldn't be crossing.
They're always pushing that line. Chris Abel, remind everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at my website, chrisabel.com, KRISABEL.com, as well on my socials, Real Chris Abel.
It's always a pleasure to chat. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll chat again next weekend.
Thanks. Okay.